In the end times, it
Man,
said there will be
so
birthing pains.
well, we're gonna have some, I think, this week. Um,
This week.
apparently, they have, yeah, they have these. People don't realize in these wars that aren't full scale hot wars. They're just going. Israel's hitting Iranian proxies. The proxies for Iran are hitting Israel. Well, there's kind of these red lines built in. Um, And Israel, at this point, I think feels completely threatened and has crossed what Iran views as red lines. They executed, I believe it was Hamas political leader in Tehran, and the rumor is they used a 15-pound explosive. They either used a drone to get him in the apartment, or they placed an explosive that was there for weeks before this guy ever stayed there. And took him out in the capital of Iran, which I think is so amazing. And then they even did an execution or an assassination, Israel did in the past couple of years, where they had a remote controlled machine gun on the back of a truck. And the truck was disguised to look like, just an ordinary truck in Iran. And they had it set so when the car came by, it was a high powered machine gun. This remote control machine gun assassinated the guy, and then they detonated explosives to get rid. So the whole truck and everything and all the evidence was gone with it. Pretty fascinating stuff. And then they also eliminated the Hezbollah leader. They've been executing the top guys of Hezbollah and Hamas. And so Iran is saying the rumors are Iran has said, we don't care if this triggers a war. We are going to respond, and it's going to be, we're bringing it. And we don't care if it, and because they're doing the back channel diplomacy and they're saying, we don't care if it sparks a wider war. So we've been moving assets into place to try to help Israel out. I don't know with anything offensive, but definitely defensive. And people going to work here every day don't think much about it, but boy, that thing can spin. We've talked about it before, and last time we had the big response by Iran with 300 incoming projectiles toward Israel, and this one looks like it's going to be even bigger. So people need to. We're going to have to keep the Twitter feed up this week because it's going to go down.
So it sounds like you're saying that Israel is getting ready to strike Iran, no matter what that could bring. Is that what I'm getting at?
Well,
is that what am I gathering that right?
What's going to happen is Iran is going to strike Israel. And when they strike them, does Israel believe that Iran has crossed a red line? Because they think Israel has, so they're going to have this big response. So if Israel views what they did as crossing a red line, then it's open war. Because remember last time it was we execute the top guy with a bomb. Iran said you've crossed the red line. They threw all those missiles out. Most of them were stopped. And Israel responded by taking out one surface to air radar, like right in the main air defense corridor, basically just showing what they can do. Didn't kill anybody. And they both agreed, all right, we're done. This is it. We're cool. So the question is, will Israel view the red line as being crossed and we go into full open war? And you also got to remember, too, that everybody's terrified of Iran being the first or getting a nuke, because if they do, they could wipe Israel off the map with a very few number of those. And they are very close to getting a nuke. So will they use this as an excuse to go ahead and go after the nuke facilities? So it could spiral pretty quick, man.
Mike, what happened at the? I saw a little bit of it in the news, but something at the soccer field where some children were killed. Who did that?
That would have been, I believe that it's either Hezbollah. I think it was Hezbollah sending in rockets from Lebanon. Yeah. And again, the news, like they do Trump, I read the paper every day.
It's ridiculous.
You know, you'll
man.
you'll see, man, it's so bad that school children. So they hit the soccer field, killing kids, and then when Israel struck back, they put it on the front page and headlines: Israel kills civilians, and I had to turn like 6 pages back to get to the soccer field discussion. So it's every day. It's every day, man. And I just saw this
I
here.
saw that exact headline in passing yesterday in a gas station the other day. I think I texted y'all about it, but I was like, if I didn't know any better, I would have thought Israel struck them out of the blue because of that headline.
Yes.
And I know there was some coverage of it, but why is that not a bigger story? That someone killed a bunch of kids. I mean, what?
Because the narrative of the world, the narrative of the world is always set before the event happens. And it's always with Israel. They can get hit, and when they hit back, they just get destroyed in the media nonstop. And I can't say why that is. I just know that is what happens. And if you look at the massacre that occurred, proportionally to the United States, I think it'd be like 40,000 dead in a terrorist attack. We've talked about that before. You know, if you take the number of people killed to the population, compare that to the U.S., that'd be like us. You know, I think did we lose 3,000 on 9/11?
Yeah.
Like 15.
Yeah.
Yeah. So imagine we lost 40,000. So we lost, if my numbers are right, 3,000, and we were in 3 different wars over 20 years. Imagine what we'd do if we lost 40 grand. You know, so